Screw with me, Bellows.
Or what? You're gonna shoot me?
That's right.
You only shoot on our men.
Episode 12, Honey, I Shrunk Team Flash.
You didn't kill that guy, did you?
Barry learns that Big Sur, his new friend in Iron Heights, actually is innocent.
He was found guilty of shooting a guard, but there was no apparent motive.
The reason why he's in Iron Heights was completely because of another person that Team Flash discovers is this man named Silbert Runding. And Silbert Runding, AKA Dwarf Star, has the ability to shrink things.
Guys, he's here!
And of course, hilarity ensues when our team goes out to try to stop him, and two of Team Flash members get shrunk down to a couple inches big.
You okay, guys?
We're 2 inches tall, Caitlin!
This is ridiculous.
And so Barry puts the team on trying to find Rundeen and stop him, and prove that Big Sur is innocent.
You guys are going in the hamster cage.
I think they can read minds.
Cecile Horton finds out that she has developed sort of like women develop gestational diabetes. She has developed gestational telepathy.
Maybe this will turn out to be a good thing. I've always wondered what goes on in that head of yours.
Heart rate's 170 BPM, and there's no sign of dark matter in the amniotic fluid.
So the baby's not a meta.
Nope, it's a perfectly normal baby. Girl. You were gonna say baby girl.
I'm having another daughter.
I'm gonna have a sister?
Well, I guess we can cancel the announcement party.
Boy, girl, that's 50-50. Let's test your skills for real. What number am I thinking of?
3, 11, 25. 3 again. Bulbasaur. What the hell is a Bulbasaur?
It's so weird. Why would I be thinking about Pokemon at a time like this?
Yep, definitely a telepath.
But how? If the baby is not a meta, then where did these powers come from? Nope, I wasn't on the bus. No, I was not abducted by aliens. No, I didn't inherit a mystic totem from my grandma. Really, guys? Why are you still thinking about Bulbasaur?
He's the cutest one of all.
Okay, my best hypothesis is this is actually triggered by your latest phase of pregnancies, and it's actually latent dark matter that's been in your brain since maybe the first particle accelerator explosion. Think of it like gestational diabetes. Right, but it's temporary. I mean, the symptoms should recede after childbirth.
Hey everybody, brand new Flash tonight. Goldberg is back and he is the mayor of Iron Heights. In case you didn't remember, the person that he says is Bellows who's giving him shit is the actual mayor of Central City who was found to be corrupt back in episode 4 because of that whole elongated man thing that was going on.
Since killing you didn't work out, what we agreed upon, $200K. Let me have the photographs.
Here's the pictures.
Don't forget, too, there's all those bus metas that we haven't run into since we've been in there. But this episode is mostly about him helping Goldberg's character get out of prison. And if you didn't spot it, there are a whole bunch of Goldberg wrestling Easter eggs on his license that they flash on screen. I can't remember which matches exactly, but it's September 1999 and September 2003. Those correspond with a couple of his big matches. He was in a couple different federations, like he went from WCW to Nitro to WWE. So if you're a huge wrestling fan, you might know exactly which matches those were. Anytime there's someone big like Goldberg that they get for the show and they flash a bunch of numbers on screen, usually they reference what they're famous for in real life. The character that he's playing from the comics is obviously a little bit different. His name is Doofus P. Ratchet, but he debuted during Flash 338 back in 1984. I couldn't find any of those numbers anywhere on here, but his comic book character is kind of hilarious, so you can understand how they made him a little more badass for the TV show. But now that we have Goldberg on The Flash, we've had Edge back during Season 2, and we have Cody Rhodes on Arrow. We'll have to petition Stephen Amell to use all of his juice as one of the lead actors of the shows to get these actors on screen together for some sort of wrestling moment. Unrelated to Flash stuff, we also found out about a new Superman TV show that's happening on the DC streaming service where the Titans TV show is going to drop. I'll talk about that at the end of the video because it's unrelated to Flash TV show stuff. All the shows are a little bit complicated when it comes to the new stuff that they're developing, but on The Flash this week, villain confirmed to be Dwarf Star, who's actually a villain from the Atom comics who has like a shrinking belt. That's how he shrinks stuff down. In the TV show, it seems like he's using the gun to do that, so he's more of a tech-based villain than being a meta. So I'm guessing that he's not one of the bus metas just from the footage that we've seen. But they also give us the tip-off on Cecile getting pregnancy powers. He uses the example of gestational diabetes. Diabetes, not a good thing to have, so I don't know necessarily that he's trying to imply that Cecile's powers are a bad thing, like there's something bad behind it. But again, I think it's all in service of them teeing up the idea that Iris gets powers, she becomes a speedster for a single episode, and they're like, oh my god, how is this happening? But surprise is probably that it's because she's pregnant and she developed those powers because of what's going on with Barry's children. So like remember back during episode 10 where she was able to hold herself in the Speed Force in bullet time with Barry while everybody else was standing still?
Alan is... What's happening?
We're moving so quickly that everyone else is still.
How are you able to do this with me?
I actually don't know.
It's probably just an early form of what's going to be happening to her later, like her being able to harness the Speed Force because of the pregnancy. So all the evidence is just pointing towards Iris getting pregnant, but no idea which episode that they would figure that out in. It sounds like they would do the Speedster Iris twist before they reveal the pregnancy, like, why would this happen? Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, I'll try to help out. So they have that episode where Iris gets to be a speedster, but then come to find out, oh my god, I'm pregnant. We're gonna need more diapers. That might be later on this season, but it all circles back around to Mystery Girl, who is probably either their daughter or granddaughter. We keep saying Dawn Allen, but we don't know where she's from in the timeline, so that will just depend on what name they give her. But right now, I still think it's his daughter, not his granddaughter. But just remember, there's still a number of directions they could take that. Big tip-off, she said her motto was always pay it forward. There's actually an episode later this season that's going to be titled Pay It Forward. So yeah, she's going to be a much bigger character later on. But to explain that new Superman TV show, this is actually a pretty big deal. The news broke while I was making this video. So if you guys didn't know, the Titans TV show is going to be dropping later this year. We don't have an exact date for that, but it's debuting on the DC streaming service that we're just calling DC Direct right now. They don't have an official name for it. We don't know when it's going to launch, but it's the Netflix-style service that DC Comics and Warner Brothers are launching, where they're going to premiere Young Justice Season 3, the live-action Titans TV show, and now a Superman prequel series that's going to be called Metropolis. That's what they're calling it. I don't know if that's going to be the actual title, but it's supposed to follow Lois Lane and Lex Luthor before Superman became Superman in Metropolis. And wait for it, this will make more sense, it's being done by the same people that started doing the Gotham TV series. Although I don't know who's actually going to be running the show, but they got a 13-episode order. It's guaranteed for 13, so they're already doing it. They said they expect it to premiere during 2019, so it's probably going to be the end of this year before we see any concept footage or anything like that. But just keep in mind what Gotham looks like, the way it's set around that city, and how they might do a Metropolis series that feels a little bit like the later seasons of Smallville in the way that they were in Metropolis, but Superman was not Superman yet. They didn't say anything about how they're going to deal with the Superman character, if he's going to be in Smallville while this series is going on, if he's going to come visit them every once in a while, like Clark Kent comes to Metropolis on occasion, because I don't think that you can do a series like that without doing any version of the character. You'd have to do some form of Clark Kent. They haven't announced any cast. We don't know if any of the Smallville people will come back for that, or if any of the Supergirl people will cross over, because they're kind of doing a version of that TV show on Supergirl right now. But I think part of the idea is that it's going to be a little bit more hardcore without straying from the tone of what a Superman TV show should be. Like, there's a very specific tone for Superman stuff. You don't want to go too far from that. It's just that they're going to focus more on the Lex Luthor character and the Lois Lane character. Speaking of Smallville, they actually made a really funny Tom Welling Superman joke on Lucifer this week.
Why are you doing this?
Well, how am I supposed to solve the mystery of how to kill you if I don't understand you first? Your strengths, your weaknesses, because everyone has a kryptonite, Lieutenant.
But I'll say there's a new round of the Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter, just be a subscriber and share the video using those tools on the watch page. I'll name the winner when I post my Flash episode later tonight. Click here to rewatch that Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer that just dropped, and click here for more brand new Flash. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.